I think that's what sometimes a good photo can do. It can just reinforce its evidence. It's like part of the evidence of life of like, I exist, I'm beautiful, I'm
Mm.
worthy, I am enough. Look how cute I am. All the things.
This is not just taking pictures, right? And that intimacy that you are building by building trust helps them to not be the frozen smile photo subject.
We are more than our bodies. Like our family and our people want to see what we look like. They just want to see us. And I want you to exist in photos, like just to be in the photos. And your body is a good body.
You're listening to Solving for Joy. I'm your host, Dr. Chrissy Ott. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Solving for Joy podcast. I am thrilled to welcome a guest today whose work is all about helping people feel seen in the truest sense of the word. Rachel Marie Castillo is a confidence coach with a camera. She's a portrait photographer, artist, and entrepreneur based in Tucson, Arizona, who is known for creating empowering images that help people feel confident, radiant, and visible in their lives and work. Her photography has become a powerful mirror, especially for women who've been told they're too much or not enough. But Rachel has a gift for capturing the beauty, strength, and presence in everyone she photographs. With over 2 decades behind the lens, Rachel brings heart, humor, and healing to everything she does. Her journey as a young mom, her deep commitment to body positivity and LGBTQ plus representation, these threads are woven into every photo she takes, every space she holds. And this fall, we are so excited and fortunate that Rachel will be joining us in person at the Physician Coaching Summit as our official photographer. She is going to be offering professional headshots that aren't just about looking polished, they're about being seen with presence, confidence, and joy. When I first met Rachel, there was something that just clicked. It wasn't about her talent behind the camera as much as it was the way that she shows up. There just felt like true alignment between her values and the energy of our community. And so partnering with Rachel just felt natural, intentional. And I'm so excited to introduce her and share this conversation with you. Not just an incredible photographer, but someone whose work we believe will elevate the entire experience. So, Rachel, thanks for coming to join us for this conversation. Welcome to Solving for Joy.
Thanks for having me, Chrissy. I'm so glad to be here.
So
Thank
excited
you.
to have you here. So, when we first met, I asked you about your motivation. I asked you, how did you get here? I have an insatiable thirst for knowing how people got here. What is the backstory? So I would love to know a little bit about your motivation and what brought you to this moment in your life.
Thanks for asking that. I also love to know what motivates people or how did they get to where they are. I've been a photographer for about 25 years. I picked it up in high school and I was a young mom at 16. And photography is this kind of thing that you can do on your own and with yourself. And then if you're lucky enough to have people there, you can also photograph people. So, my child, Marcel, he was just naturally my subject matter. And so it started in high school and started just photographing my family, and that was wonderful. And then I went to school and I didn't really know I was I didn't really know I was going to be a photographer, that I could ever be something like that. But I needed to go to school because my mom said go to school or pay rent. And we were living with her. And so I went to school, just took some classes, and a girlfriend was like, "Why don't you try photography?" I'm like, "Oh, that's not a job." And she's like, "Look around, look at every billboard, every magazine, it's all around." So I kind of needed some help to see what was possible. I didn't even know it was possible for myself. And just like anything, you just start it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm kinda good." Or people would give me feedback and just keep asking me to do it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is great, this is working out." And then fast forward, I worked in a photo lab for about 17 years and helped other photographers and artists make their art and see what it was like being around the industry. And again, I didn't have a mentor that told me I could do it. Quite the opposite. I had a mentor who mentored me on how to run a small business, but not that I could go out and do my dream, but more that she was prepping me to work her dream. So for a while, I kind of got sucked into somebody else's dream, and then COVID hit. And for like a lot of us, we reevaluated what was important in our life. And that kind of bump to like, oh, I'm doing it now. Oh, I'm finally doing this. Simultaneously, my kid grew up and moved out. So naturally, I was like, oh, I'm doing this now. I get to work my dream. And I think there was always this fear, probably from some other scripts that I got from the outside world, that it was hard to be an artist. Maybe like this air quotes starving artist script. I was
Yeah.
never told that it
Types.
doesn't have to be hard, that it could be easy, it could be fun, it could work. So COVID kind of, during the time of when we were dealing with that, it propelled me to work on my dream. And then, so it's been a couple of years that I really went full force, and it really worked out. Sometimes I'm like, why did I wait so long, or what was I scared of? But really, it's like about that's when I was ready.
Yeah.
That was when I was ready. And so it's been a few years working on my business, and I love it. I feel like I'm certainly dating my business.
Yes.
Like it's on my mind
Yes.
all the time, and in fun ways too. Not like, oh, like giant air quotes, I have to go to work. It's more like I get to go to work and I get to work on all my ideas and I get to help people. So that's
Oh
kind of
my
how
gosh.
I got here. It was like a long road. So I had a long time to work on my craft, which was great. And just a few short years of working on the business part, which I think other entrepreneurs will know. There's a, there's so much we don't know.
There's so much to learn. It's a vertical learning curve. There's so much in what you just said that is rich for responding to. The last thing you said about dating your business, I heard Kathy Steppen, who is the original founder of the Physician Coaching Summit. She said something about her business having a mad love affair with her business. And I immediately recognized that. I was like, yes, it is one of my loves. It is
Hmm.
something I want to know about all the time, think about all the time, be into all the time. And maybe this is a honeymoon phase, and maybe there are different phases of this relationship, but there is a mad love affair with that. And I love that you feel also like you're passionately dating your business and craft. It's so fun.
Thank you.
And the other thing is about like noticing something is possible, especially if it's been a covert dream.
Hmm.
And covert dreams are often the ones that society quietly instills in us a belief that it's not possible. For
Hmm.
example, to succeed economically while being an artist, or to
Hmm.
succeed economically while being a solo practicing physician outside the system in
Hmm.
direct care or what have you.
Hmm.
There's this subtle belief that we have to actually notice and decide to separate from to move forward, and then meaning, alignment, delight.
Yeah, there's so much to face by going off on your own in these kind of ways. Um, hmm A lot of fear to face and a lot of joy to experience. So much joy. Hmm.
So much joy. What is a micro joy for you this week?
Well, right now being on your podcast is huge. I'm not sure I'd call that micro
Check,
joy.
check, check.
You know what? I'm really grateful. I feel like I have joy moments every day. I mean, not every day is like a 10, but there is something. I'm naturally optimistic, natural silver lining type of person. And you know what I'm actually working on? Are you familiar with Chani Nichols, queer astrologer?
Mm.
I think she's in New York. Anyway, she has this breakthrough. It's like 28-day breakthrough workshop thing, and you're just like moving through stuck energy or something you want to move, or change in your life. And I've been doing that, and it's life changing, just like anytime big energy moves, like, and you're just like, oh, I feel so much relief. So I don't know. Those are like, I think I could probably think of a micro joy every day. And a lot of it has to do with mindset work. Because I want to be happy. I want to choose to be happy on purpose. It's not always, given circumstances, it's not always easy.
No, yeah,
Hmm.
it's a practice.
Hmm.
Speaking of practices, I would love to talk to you about how photography can be a healing practice. Because I know that you don't just take pictures. The reason that you were referred to me was because of the way that you hold space. And when we've spoken before, I have the sense that you are able to show people something they may not always readily see in themselves.
Oh, I love that part of photography. Um, I think the joy part starts in planning, in talking about it, getting somebody excited about who could they be, who are they becoming. So a lot of times people are coming to me because either they're in some kind of transition or they have a profession or they want to boost their business or visibility in some way, or they're celebrating themselves or a milestone. And it's like we want to be like we're becoming somebody. Either we're becoming a business owner, or we're becoming a coach, or we're becoming a better photographer, or whatever it is. We're always becoming something, and I think that's part of photography is not just seeing who I am right now, but who am I becoming, or who do I want to be, or what version of me. So the healing part is like in that the healing and exciting part can happen at the beginning, like where we're getting excited about it, envisioning who are you, where are these photos, how are they going to make an impact, who will they make an impact for, and then during the photo shoot, I think healing also starts with like trust. So I think there's a lot of trust that gets built between me and my person. Um, a lot of times I have a couch in my studio. It's called the therapy couch. So often they're just telling me about their business. They're giving me some background story about themselves and where we're going with the photos. And um, that's like prime for tears for whatever reason. Whenever we share our story and we're really vulnerable, um, tears enter the scene in a very loving way. But then we're building trust, and I'm getting to learn them. They're getting to learn they can trust me. So by the time we get to a photo shoot, uh, I think that's like where play starts to happen. They've kind of like after you cry, you've had that like rush of your system, and then you're
Versus,
like,
yes.
whoa, let's go. So I think that's like the process, like there's some vulnerability, there's some tears, there's some excitement and buildup of who are we going to be, almost like, on the ride at Disneyland of sorts. And then we get there and then we get to play. And then that part's healing too, because I think people come to me sometimes and they feel like a little bit of like apprehension around being vulnerable, around being seen, around being in front of the camera. It's just like me and them. I'm staring at them and they're like, what do I do with my hands, my body? So during that photo shoot, like I think when somebody can trust me, then they kind of lean into that play. Then they just do everything I say. Okay, do this, do that. Let's dance. Let's put on the music. Let's move our bodies, and then I could see them come to life right in front of me. It's really fun. Um, and then it comes full circle when they see their photos, because when they see it, they're like, "That's." Sometimes they're like, "Oh yeah, that's me. I killed that photo shoot," or "That's who I look like." And then sometimes there's tears, like that self reflection or appreciating who they are, who they showed up for. They showed up for themselves and which version showed up. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if that like if that's so roundabout, but it's like every step of the process. There's like a little bit of trust building, a little bit of vulnerability, a little bit of play. And I think all those things combined, it's like a meal. They can feel
I
nourished afterwards.
love that. I think that having some awareness that there is potential for healing at each step of the journey just so deeply enriches and grounds the experience and shows anybody who needs to be shown that this is not just anything. This is not just taking pictures, right? And that intimacy that you are building by building trust helps them to not be the frozen smile photo subject
Yeah.
who is like stiff and unsure of how to move their body as they would in normal everyday space in their more comfortable spaces.
Yeah.
And I imagine so many of us come with some kind of photo trauma,
Yes.
or at least photo drama, if not trauma,
Yes.
right? That we like, oh, I don't know that I'm going to like how I look in these pictures, and I'm going to get my expectations up, and then they're going to be let down. And maybe I have thoughts about my body, and maybe I have
Yeah.
thoughts about my clothes. And I mean, there's so much to unravel to relax in front of a camera.
Yes. Yes. And yes, all of those things that you say, they kind of all weigh on us beforehand. I think that I help to build somebody's confidence in a couple ways. One way is just preparation. I think the more we are prepared, the more confidence we have. Just like anything, you go and you speak in front of a crowd, you practice, practice, practice. And you practice what you're going to wear. You might even try it on. You might even have your friend look at, you send a photo. So it's like all these different points of preparation beforehand. Um, and recently I also started working with my own mindset coach about a year and a half ago, and that changed my life. So I brought some of that mindset work into preparation for photo shoots. And if I have somebody who's like feeling a lot of apprehension or they're just scared, but they know they need to do this anyways for whatever reason, um, we do a little bit of journal work, like around visibility. Like, what is your fear of visibility? What's the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen? What would it mean to, let's, in this case, your business? What would it mean to your business to have these photos? What kind of impact would you make with these photos? So, like, we try to get beyond like, address the fear of visibility, and then address what's going to happen after you have these photos. Like, after we do the scary thing, what's the impact going to be? So sometimes the journaling part happens. Other ways I help to build the confidence during the photo shoot is this kind of like lively exchange, just like a little bit of rapport. I'm upbeat with a big smile, and so I think that helps. Smiles are contagious. Um, and then I do a few things like getting somebody into their body, like literally, like we're shaking, we're breathing, I'm like, shake it out, okay, shake my legs. Sometimes there's music, it depends on the scenario, but building confidence ahead of time is like where the base of it is. And I think people feel more confident when I'm confident. So I know what the plan is, I know who you are, what these photos are going to do. So kind of having a plan, and then they build off of that. So confidence building is probably is a main factor in this.
Yes, confidence coach with a camera. I love the idea of doing some journaling before. I think that is a genius move. Um, and I love that you are a, you know, product of mindset coaching already, which puts you in a space to really get where the folks who you'll be photographing, whose pictures you'll be taking at this summit, like it builds more bridges, more connections, more like understanding, and that you get what they do is another one of those like, yep, we're connected. We're connected. This is a safe space. We're gonna have
Hmm.
fun here.
Hmm. And I would say just touching on body image, that's got to be like number one feedback or concern that I get from people, whether it's their hair for whatever's happening with their hair, or their smile, like their teeth, or their curves, the curves of their body. Maybe their body has grown or shrunken in ways that is concern, just is just like an just air quotes issue. I don't want to say
Mhm.
issue because it's like issue could
It's a
be bad thing. It's
topic.
just like the thing that they're concerned about.
Mhm.
Um, and so for me, I feel like the whole time, language and being body positive with and acceptance and compassion is so important. Um, so I do like to remind people that I primarily work with women, and especially curvy women over 40, because that's what I'm a curvy woman over 40. And I feel like when I say that, sometimes I see a sigh of relief on somebody's face, usually a curvy woman, because she's like, oh, because what I'm saying in between that is I understand what you're concerned about, in the body parts, so lay it on me. Tell me. You are in a safe space. This is who I work with all the time. It's like kind of like, when you're in the dressing room and there's a bunch of women. So it's like we're kind of like vibing, we're understanding the things. Like when we're like, does this look good on me? Like we're kind of knowing, well, which part? You know what part I'm talking about. Well, just like those things that we understand without, I don't know, there's like a term for it, but Mhm. So I hope to like build some of that safety there, so that people can understand I body issues are a thing, and let's address it and figure out how can we shift our mind around it, and not to like downplay anybody's feelings, because your feelings are totally valid, and We are more than our bodies. Like our family and our people want to see what we look like. They just want to see us. I want you to exist in photos, like just to be in the photos, and your body is a good body. So I know I'm just like laying all these things out, but this is like where my brain is. I'm like, just exist in photos. Your family wants to see you. Your visibility makes an impact. And I rarely say this, but we are the only ones that care what our body looks like. Like my kid doesn't care how much weight is around my belly. My kid doesn't care about my arms. They only care if I can hug them, you know? So, like in that way, it's like how can we radically accept our bodies and then maybe move into love and appreciation?
Yes. Yes. Start with radical acceptance. Rewrite those internal stories or those stories of body oppression that have been visited upon us um, for unhelpful reasons. And
Mm.
I think that what you're giving permission for is for people to show their radiances, to allow
Mhm.
them to shine through because they are there. And if we're super inhibited because we maybe have a story that all photographers practice photography on size zero catalog models all day, every
Mm.
day, then we
Mm.
don't have actually a accurate representation of what most photographers do in the world, taking pictures of real people.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So stop the pre-comparison and get really deeply present.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. A thing I have to tell myself all the time, whether it's about my personal work or how I relate to other people in the world, is that comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
So try to be in the creative space versus a comparison or a competitive space. Hmm. Hmm.
Absolutely. And you're right, our loved ones do not care about those details. They are looking for our spark. You know, something so powerful can happen when we see a photo of someone that we love, especially one that really captures their essence, their spark, their real smile, like the one you know that they're laughing inside at, or
Yeah.
they're feeling a little mischievous. You can almost hear their laugh and feel their energy. It reminds us who they are at their core, and maybe
Hmm.
even who we are when we're with them. You know,
Hmm.
that's when it becomes healing, not just for
Hmm.
you, but for the people who also get to visit your image through this photograph. And it holds up a
Hmm.
mirror and amplifies the joy of that moment, which
It
is
does.
incredible.
Oh, that gives me goosebumps. Kind of going back to this why, the why I is, I noticed when I was became the photographer, I also became the family history keeper of photos. And I realized my mom was missing from a lot of photos. And I'm like, what is this? Where's my mom? Oh, and it'd be like the lottery when you find a picture of your mom. And then I became a mom and I realized, oh, I'm also missing from these photos. And I realized it was my relationship with my new mom body. Um, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, we need to just exist in photos. I love my mom's body. I just love my mom. I want my mom to be in the photos. And so that's why I thought if I can help my mom, my tias, my best friend, anybody who is feeling that kind of apprehension or having a hard time with their body and their body image, and they're hiding from the camera. So that's kind of like where it brought me to this, like, who do I want to help? Because I really believe that when you have a photo of yourself that resonates, like you're like, yes, that's me, or that's the version of me, it hits your self-esteem, your self-worth. It's just as like this giant ripple effect. It affects how you show up in your relationship, in your business, in the world, how your kids see how you see yourself. Like when you're talking to yourself in the mirror and your kids are looking or watching, and you're like, you want to set that good example. So I think that's what sometimes a good photo can do. It can just r- reinforce its evidence. It's like part of the evidence of life of like I exist, I'm beautiful, I'm
Mm,
worthy, I am enough. Look how cute I am. All the things.
I love that so much. I would like to bottle that and wear it. Yes. Photographic evidence of existence and of joy.
Hmm. Hmm.
Documentation, receipts. Here's the
Yes.
proof, y'all. I exist. Sometimes I am delighted, and this is what it looks like.
Hmm.
Uh, and those photos become, like gold when we've changed, when we've aged, when we've passed on. I mean,
Hmm.
sometimes those are the most important representations.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it is a true gift to document those moments, and you just never know where that's gonna show up and hold its value in the future.
Hmm. Hmm. Sometimes when I'm having a low day or a feeling like some kind of sad energy, sometimes I will either go and look at my own selfies because I have a
So
little folder.
cute.
Of course, I have a folder of either my own headshots or portraits or selfies. Um, and sometimes, and that's like when I'm feeling low for myself, then I'll go and look at, be like, oh my God, I'm so cute. It's all good. Let me just
Yes.
go and fix my hair or
And
whatever,
you
you know?
are.
Thank you. And then sometimes when I'm feeling low, maybe about work or, you know, life or something, I'll go and look at my own photos, my website of my clients. And I'm like, oh my God, look at all their smiling faces. Or I'll read reviews of like, you know, oh my God, it was so fun. Or, oh, I cried when I saw my photos. You're just like hearing people's feedbacks about the impact that the photos have made for them, just as this reminder. Because sometimes I need that, you know, and I'm just like, oh yes, this is more than a photo. It has impacted somebody's self-esteem, their life, or their business. They're making more money, or they boosted their visibility, or you know whatever the impact of those photos. But so they're my own evidence as well.
Yeah. We live in a moment where, um, photos in a certain kind of way are well, they're so ubiquitous. They're almost like a really cheap currency. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, so we had 24 roll,
Yeah,
snap cameras.
yeah,
Sometimes you had to like plug in a disposable flash thing,
yeah,
and then you had to pay like relatively a lot of money to have them developed, and then most of them were crap, really,
yeah.
like things you would have deleted if it was today. Like you're just like, no, no, no. Um, and so it's such a different moment in photography, but I want to highlight how different it is to have intentional
Oh yeah,
pictures, curated experience with somebody as intentional as yourself versus I'm in a beautiful spot and I snap a selfie, which may be amazing. I'm not, no shade, but
yeah.
it's just a very, it's apples and oranges
Yes, yes. I actually love that everybody has a camera phone.
and a good one.
I think it's so powerful to have a camera in your a camera, right? The most powerful camera is the one you have right then and there. Um, and I think that it allows like creativity, just like another tool for creativity for whoever that's accessible for. So I love that. And I have zero fear that my job will be eliminated, even for AI headshots, zero, because you're right, there is nothing compares to being directed. To being told like, okay, it's just like again, going out and you have your girlfriend do your check, you know, like how's my hair, how's my teeth, how's my outfit?
Yeah.
It's like that's what I'm doing for you. I am making sure. And then I know what to tell you to do. Put the weight on your
Right.
back leg, stick your chin for, you know, like all the little air
And
quotes
how the light's hitting
tricks.
you. And yeah,
And then like how to build up emotion, how to see it in the eyes, and how to just really hold space for somebody. Because I think like when I witness like friends take photos of each other, and I'm like, oh, those are good. She's cute. Everything's great. And like sometimes it's really fast, like just like a few do do do. Okay, we're done. And I think because there's like maybe some shyness that happens, or maybe a little bit of insecurity that happens. But when you come to me, I am like, I'm gonna bang them. I'm holding space. I create a whole container for you, and I'm like, this is what we're doing. Kind of like coming into like a big mama hug. Like you're safe in there. You're like, okay, this is the place. I'm safe here. So yes, I actually just had my photo shoot, my own personal branding photo shoot last week. And I love my photographer because she tells me what to do. Even I become just like everybody else. I'm like, what am I wearing? What do I do? You're gonna tell me. I'm like, yeah. Um, and it's really that chemistry that you have with the person. Once you are trusting them, you're like, okay, I like your work, I like your vibe. Okay, I trust you. Tell me what to do. So yeah, creating that kind of, it's like a little special moment between me and that person. Hmm.
special moment. So you gave some tips, some prep tips earlier. But what if we kind of consolidate them? Like, what is in your prep kit? What do you exactly tell people? Like, what do you tell them to wear? How do you tell them to do their makeup? How do you prepare people?
Okay, that's an excellent question. The number one thing, believe it or not, is I tell people to rest. Get some sleep and hydrate and sleep. That affects your skin and your eyes and your energy. Like that's base. And simple things like avoiding hunger. Don't come hungry because that's the killer of a photo shoot. Low blood sugar. Nobody wants to smile.
That is not what I
um,
would have predicted. I love knowing this. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
So
Amazing.
rest, water, food. So it's like basically taking care of your body. Okay. And then I want you to show up mentally and emotionally prepared. So like the night before you have prepared your body and you've laid out your clothes and your clothes are ironed and pressed on a hanger ready to put on right before your shoot. So these are things I tell people. Don't drive to don't wear your outfit all day. Put it on right before. So it looks fresh. Other things to prepare beforehand, before the shoot, is definitely trying on your clothes. Because a lot of times people are either working from home, and so they're pulling out maybe some clothes that are a couple of years old, or like maybe it was an older version of them, and maybe they're not a blazer person anymore. Or maybe that blazer has shrunk or grown in the closet. Or maybe it's tattered and you don't remember, like what the color
Mm,
looks like. So try on your clothes, make
you
sure it
forgot that
fits.
you stained it with coffee last time you wore it.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I could Photoshop that, but it's better to just because then you come when you know you look good, you feel good in your brain and your energy. Um, just like when you go out on a date, you're like, oh, I look good. Okay, good. Let's do this date. So trying on the clothes, making sure they fit and that they are the current version of you. So who you want to become. So like maybe not like maybe a couple years ago you were an office worker or maybe you are now or maybe whatever, I know they're physicians, but like if
Yeah.
we're transitioning from one or to the other or just expanding our business, who are we now? Um and I believe I love color. So majority of people are gonna want to wear black. However, I think that psychologically we are attracted to color. And I think sometimes psychologically without knowing it, we wear black. Sometimes we wear black because we just really like that or we've got an artist vibe. But a lot sometimes women even say or people say, "Oh, I want to wear black because air quotes, it's slimming."
Slimming. The word is
The word is slimming and I'm just like it's in there and it's hidden. And also like people when I'm working and I don't want to be seen, I wear black, like behind the scenes, like stagehand or like when I'm working a
yeah.
wedding and I don't want to be seen.
Or if you're a cat burglar, you're gonna wear
Yeah,
black.
so wearing black is subconsciously in there is like kind of fading away into the background.
Mm.
And I want you to shine. So I'm always going to be like, okay, if you're going to wear color, make it interesting. Or black. If you're going to wear black, make it interesting. Either an interesting neckline or interesting texture or interesting shape. So if you're going to wear black, make it interesting. Otherwise, pick out a color. I love color. I love if something complements your eyes. That's always the first go-to is like, okay, what are color of your eyes? And then also, what are your favorite colors? And then what are your business colors? So if we are in the business genre, okay, what are your brand colors? Can they change? Or can we pick out something that complements those colors, but also looks good on you? I would say above all, it needs to look good on you. And you need to feel good in it. And then we'll make sure that it matches something that's secondhand. Um, it really is nice though when what you're wearing is in harmony with your brand colors, so that when you're making flyers or your website or you're speaking at a conference or doing a podcast, and the photo that they use can be versatile in terms of colors because we want color harmony.
It
Um,
doesn't clash.
mhm. In
And it's not.
our subconscious wants harmony as well. So like when we are
Mhm.
seeing, whether it's in business or for pleasure, whenever we see something that's not congruent, like it just doesn't go, our brain makes a little stop. And in business, when somebody's choosing us, we want it to just flow. Everything's a yes, a soft yes.
Mhm.
And that includes our color story. So the colors that we bring into our photos.
I'm kind of entering a color renaissance
Mm.
myself, and I have really enjoyed neutrals and blacks and had a story about why.
Hmm.
And I did a photo shoot in February, and my photographer friend, Steph, was like, let's wear this yellow sweater. And I was like, what? I would never wear this yellow. No, but yes. Okay, we did it because I'm directable. And I love it. And I've gotten so many compliments on it. And it has actually opened the door to a whole new, like, desirous relationship with wearing bright colors. Also, as an aging person with increasingly gray hair, like my color palette is different than it was 20 years ago. I look different in colors now than I did 20 years ago. It's been really interesting to become more aware of that.
Hmm. I love your headshot with the yellow. I instantly I saw it, I was drawn to it, and I can remember it. And that's the
Nice.
thing is like for headshots for business, it's business. So it's like we're marketing and we want to attract people. Even if you're fully booked, you still want to attract. And if you like go on LinkedIn, everybody's the same. It's a white background with a dark blazer. You know, it's just like everybody kind of looks the same. Like, because they're small photos, they're just really small and you're scrolling. But when there's a color, I'm like, who's that? Whether it's a background color or a color of somebody's outfit or if they're just something different. So it's like um we don't need to
Like we're
be like,
pollinators. We're looking for the bright
mhm,
flowers.
yes, yes. We don't need to be like mind-blowingly different. We just need to be different from the crowd so that we get noticed. Um, lately, I'll tell you my little networking hack. I love networking. I love in-person networking. And however, sometimes wherever I am in my moon cycle, we'll say,
Uh,
I have low points and I don't actually want to talk to everybody, but I do still want to go and still want to be seen because that's part of networking is being seen.
yeah.
So on my low days, I just wear something really bright. Like I'll wear a red dress or a really loud pattern because I want to be seen and noticed and I don't actually have to talk to everybody. So
That's
that's
kind of a
my networking
genius
hack
hack.
using fashion.
I'm inserting that into my brain right now. Love it. Okay,
Um,
what else is on your prep kit list?
Going back to how to prepare. So necklines, especially with headshots, necklines is something interesting. So either a V-neck, you cannot go wrong with V-neck. Really, if you're just like don't know and you like V-necks, bring the V-neck. I love other things like, oh, see, you have a V-neck. The reason why is because I'm making a triangle above my head and a triangle below my head. This is the diamond area. And
Mm.
all of the interesting stuff happens right here. You know, it's our face,
Mm.
it's our expression. We could bring our hands, our shoulders into there, but it's really, this is the area, the diamond area. So
Hmm.
paying attention to your neckline, whether it's a collar or a shape, you want it to look nice. Lay on your neckline nice, not kind of
Yeah.
floppy.
Maybe be pressed.
Um, Layers are nice too. So if you're like you want to have a pop of color, but you still want to feel conservative, maybe you do bring in that blazer or that cardigan, or maybe they could still be colors, but traditional cuts like a blazer, but a fun color. So there's like ways to kind of play with fashions. I
Yeah.
love working with stylists, by the way. I have a couple of stylists that I work with, depending on, and I'll pair them up with people depending on their vibe. Um, because sometimes we need help. We need help to, who am I? Who do I want to be? Like sometimes we go shopping, we would never pick something off the rack, like the yellow sweater. But we need
Right.
somebody like our photographer or our fashion friends to encourage us. So let's see, going back to layers are good. And you know, because they're headshot for this particular space, your hair and your makeup, you want to look like you're going to a job interview, basically, for a headshot. That's usually the kind of the prescription, so to speak. To add a little pun in there, it's you just want to kind of have your hair and makeup looking what I call fresh and natural. You know, like where we don't look like we're wearing makeup, but we are polished.
Yes.
Um, Eyes are the most important thing for me, especially if somebody wears glasses like myself. I love to be able to see their eyes, and what helps that is a little bit of mascara and eyeliner. Now, if you don't wear that, that's fine. But if you do, and you're like, how, that's the thing that helps me see through eye glasses, is like when your eye pops a little bit. Um, so
And if you regularly wear glasses, do you often have people remove them for a photo shoot? I mean, I'm sure there are many answers to this question, but what is that like for you?
I personally never take my glasses off. I want to
Hmm.
sleep. So if
Yeah.
somebody tells me that I ask them, do you normally wear, is that how you present to the world? And if they say
Yeah.
yes, then we keep the glasses on and we figure out, I do a little maneuvering if there's glare. So,
Sure.
and now with Photoshop, there's like, if there's a little glare like there is now, I could just hit that.
Uh-huh.
So if you present with your glasses, then we should shoot with your glasses.
I love that.
However, if somebody's like, oh, half and half, I'm like, oh, well, take them off because then it's easier.
Yeah. Then we get to see your full
Mhm.
unglasses face. But
Yeah.
sometimes, because I wear my glasses so much these days that, I mean, I can go without them, but only if I want to read do I put them back on.
I think the glasses become part of my identity. Like I just went glasses
Uh-huh.
shopping for my photo shoot
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they were like, they were like worn out. And I tried on exactly 1 billion pairs of frames. And I'm like, I just couldn't handle how my identity changed, my internal identity with a pair of glasses. It was ridiculous. So I went through a lot of effort to get the same exact pair. So I wouldn't have to deal with changing my identity right before my photo shoot.
That is so funny because right before your photo shoot would be a rough time to change your identity.
Yeah, or like
I
to
have a
grapple with what do I look like?
I have a friend, a delightful physician coach, Ann Pendo. Hello, Ann, if you ever listen to this episode. I'm talking about you. She has gorgeous red glasses. She probably has a bunch of pairs of red glasses, but the red glasses are actually her coaching business logo.
Hmm.
She's like known for wearing red
Yep.
glasses. She looks great in them.
So imagine she didn't show up with them, or imagine she showed up with a pair of black glasses in her headshot. You'd be like,
Who
but
is
what is
this?
this?
This is not
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I love that when people have a thing that they've used fashion as part of their identity or some kind of visual thing to cue us in. I love when people bring that. Like I
Yeah.
had a client who all of her branding is pink. She wore this beautiful pink dress. It was amazing. Yes, like or somebody who like gold. I've got this guy who wears all gold. He's got gold shoes and gold shirts. So it's kind of fun when people bring in those pieces with them.
That is fun. Um, are there more?
How to prepare. Those are kind of like the basic things about taking care of your body, getting your mindset in order,
Yeah,
and then kind of getting some feedback on what you're wearing, being intentional, really. Those are the
that
main
is
things. And then when you
so
come with those
good.
ingredients, I take care of the rest. Sometimes people
Our
bring an inspiration photo, and that's nice too.
Oh, nice. Yes, that I did actually do during that last photo shoot, and found photos that I
Hmm.
liked, that moved me, that I felt like, ooh, I'm interested in that person. I'm interested in that story behind that
Hmm.
picture.
Yeah.
So that's a really good tip.
And it's
Um,
really helpful so I can see what you like because I know like I've
mhm,
got a million ideas, but they're not all relevant to you, you know?
mhm,
So I'm like, oh, you
mhm.
like that pose. Oh, you like this look. Oh, you like this vibe. Like, oh, you're a pensive, serious person, or oh, you're joyful and you have a big, what I call the Oprah smile. That's the Oprah smile.
She's got it down. She's probably had to do a lot of relaxing in front of the camera over the years.
Yeah.
She looks amazing. Um, for people who are listening, who have historically felt uneasy, unsure, uncomfortable, or just plain old aversive about being photographed, what would you want them to hear right now?
You know, the first thing that comes to mind really is I got you. I
Hmm.
really have got you. Um, I know that it is vulnerable to trust somebody, especially somebody you just met. But if you can trust me enough for our short session together, I really believe something great will come out of it. I really do. Whether that is a great image that resonates with you or a great experience that helps you to feel less or more easeful in the next time you get photographed, and just a connection with another human being that smiles back at you. I really think that that goes far. So for somebody who might be apprehensive about getting their headshot taken or their photo taken, maybe just a little, trust the process just a little bit, and something good will come out of it.
I experience your energy, Rachel, as like very grounded and very welcoming and very nurturing. I can almost feel like what it will be like to hug you when we meet in real
Oh,
life. So
thank
I
you.
believe you that you've got them. I believe you that you've got us. I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Um, so it's been so wonderful to spend this time together and share this conversation. I would love for people listening to know how to find you, especially people who are interested in meeting you in Tucson or having you at their event. So please share your socials and website.
Absolutely. Thank you. The best way to reach me is directly on my website. It is rachelmarie.photography. And I am on Instagram. That was a little bit longer. It's Rachel underscore Marie underscore photography. So yes, I'm on also on LinkedIn. So there's different ways to connect. And I'm looking forward to our summit, because the weather's going to be great. The venue is beautiful, and your lineup is amazing. Your speaker lineup. So I know I'll be
Thank
photographing,
you.
and I'll also be like kind of hopping around, capturing the event and meeting people, and that'll be exciting.
Yes, yes. I'm excited to see pictures of the full moon yoga nidra, the sound bath, and the dance party,
Yes, yes.
in addition to the regular, hey, here's some conference goers laughing out loud,
I'm
talking in small
excited to go
groups.
to all of those things.
Totally.
I'm all,
So,
oh, a
so neat.
dance party. Heck yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, and last question for you, closing out with joy. Um, Tell me one thing that you're going to do in the next week that is going to be supremely joyful for you.
Mm. Actually, tomorrow I am taking the day off midweek, and I am going to the lake for a little solo kayaking situation. I
Amazing.
love the water, and it's just like perfect time to go to the lake.
Great.
And going midweek, because you have control of your schedule, is such a gift. Mhm.
Wear a life preserver and have so much fun.
I love that. Yes, I do have a life preserver.
Safety gear. Um, Rachel Castillo, everyone, thank you for being with us, and we cannot wait to.
Thank you so much.
A heartfelt thank you to Rachel Castillo for sharing her gifts with us today, holding space, inviting joy, and helping us all feel seen. I hope this episode inspires you to step into your own radiance and visibility. Next week, I will be in a delightful conversation with Dr. Stacy Cisneros, a physician and coach whose work blends her medical expertise with human design and energy medicine to guide people back to wholeness. We'll dive into how healing isn't always about fixing what's broken. It's about clearing the path to come home to yourself, to reclaim agency, and of course, solve for joy. And low-key, Stacy is going to basically read my human design on this call. If you're a physician coach looking for community, please join us in November at the Physician Coaching Summit. It is one of the most connected, joyful spaces I know. Learn more at thephysiciancoachingsummit.com and follow us on Instagram. If you're curious about what could be possible for you in your life and career, I would love to be part of that. Find out more at joypointsolutions.com. And as a reminder, I'm a doctor but not your doctor, and this podcast is for educational and inspirational purposes only. Huge thanks to our creative crew, Kelsey Vaughn, Alyssa Wilkes, Shelby Bracken, and my sweet, sweet Sue. And most of all, thank you for listening. Your presence is central to this show fulfilling its purpose. May you find a new and delightful way to solve for joy this week. We'll see you next time.